Hello students, this is a summary of the chapter Indigo to get you better understanding of the chapter. This story is based on the interview taken by Louis Fisher, and he has taken the interview of Mahatma Gandhi. In order to write on him, he had visited him in 1942 at his ashram Sevagram, where he came to know about the Indigo movement started by Gandhiji, and this chapter is based on that movement itself. In this story, Louis describes Gandhi's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran who were the sharecroppers with the British planters. Now these poor peasants, they suffered a lot and they led a miserable life and were forced to grow indigo by the Britishers. Britishers forced them to grow indigo on their own land according to an agreement. They suffered a great injustice due to this system, due to the landlord system in Bihar. Gandhiji waged a war for about a year against their cruelty or atrocities and brought justice to the poor peasants. So, as we have told, this story is based on the interview taken by Louis Fisher of Mahatma Gandhi. In this story, Gandhi's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran is described. In those days, most of the cultivable land or arable land in the Champaran district was divided into largest estate owned by the Britishers or Englishmen, and Indian tenants worked on that land. And the chief commercial crop that was grown there only was indigo. Britishers forced the peasants to grow indigo on their arable land, fertile land. The landlords compelled all tenants to plant 15% of their indigo and surrender the entire indigo harvest as rent. So this is the atrocity this chapter is telling us about, that the tenants had to plant 15% of indigo on their land, and they had to give all the entire harvest, all the entire indigo grown on their land as rent to the landlords or the Britishers. This was done by long-term contract. Now they suffered a lot due to this, but when the Britishers came to know that Germany had developed synthetic indigo, they did not need the indigo crop anymore. The Britishers did not need the indigo crop anymore when they came to know about that Germany had developed synthetic indigo. Now there is no need to grow indigo on the Indian land. So just to release the peasants from this 15% agreement, still they were not freeing these peasants without any payment or without any compensation. They demanded compensation for that. It means they demanded money in place of making them free from this long-term contract. They are saying that we will make you free if you will give us compensation for that. Some peasants agreed because they didn't know about all these things about the contracts, as they were illiterate, but the others refused. So regarding this, one of the sharecropper named Rajkumar Shukla met Gandhiji in this regard. He had gone to the ashram to meet Gandhi in this regard, and he forced Gandhiji to visit Champaran so that Gandhiji could help these peasants because of the long-term injustice of landlords. Then the two of them, now first of all, Gandhiji had got no time to go with Rajkumar Shukla, but when he saw the Gandhiji saw that Rajkumar Shukla was determined in taking Gandhiji with him, so Gandhiji told him a particular date on which he would be in Calcutta, and he asked Rajkumar Shukla to wait there in Calcutta for him. From Calcutta, at that time Rajkumar Shukla was already waiting for Gandhiji there at the station in Calcutta. Then after fulfilling all his work there, Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla. These two, both of them boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. They went to Bihar. From there, Shukla led him to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad, which you know already. Gandhiji's humble and simple attire. Attire means clothes. So he was wearing very simple clothes, and while seeing Gandhiji, the servants did not recognize him, the servants at Rajendra Prasad's house, and they mistook him. They thought that he was another poor peasant like these peasants of Champaran. He surveyed before taking any vital step in order to get those peasants justice. Now Gandhiji surveyed because he wanted to take any step, any important step, but they wanted to get a survey of that before doing any important thing. So it was the time when British punished those who gave shelter to national leaders or protesters. Any person who gave shelter, who gave help to these national leaders or protesters was punished by the Britishers. So everybody was afraid of giving shelter. But there in Champaran, Gandhi's arrival, why he had come there and what was his aim, spread like a fire. Many lawyers and peasants came in large numbers to support him. And when Gandhiji asked them about what they did for the peasants, so the lawyers said that they charged high, their charges were high. On that, Gandhiji rebuked them for collecting big fee or charging high from the sharecroppers, as they were suffering already and they were by the Britishers, and still the lawyers also were just making them feel depressed. They were charging high from them. They are already under the burden of this money or these financial problems. He stressed on counseling, as this would give the peasants enough confidence to fight their fear. They wanted these peasants to remove their fear and have enough confidence to fight against the Britishers. He managed to get justice after a year-long battle for the peasants. He had told the lawyers, he had asked the lawyers, and all the lawyers and influential persons agreed that they would go in jail with Gandhiji. If Gandhiji would go to jail, they would also accompany him in the jail. They had planned one by one how this planning will be done. And the Britishers, they got afraid of him. They didn't want to punish Gandhiji. The court asked Gandhiji to go from there, but when he refused to obey and he just said he pleaded guilty, Gandhiji pleaded guilty, so he was released without any trial. He also, now after that, after winning this, and one of the main incident also is here, when Britishers agreed, a committee was made to see in the matter, and after that matter it was agreed that 25%, the Britishers offered to pay only 25% of the amount what they had taken as a compensation. Now they agreed that they would give 25% of the amount back. Now Gandhiji accepted this also. It was a small amount as a compensation, but Gandhiji accepted this also because it was a matter of only a prestige that the sharecroppers had won against the Britishers. It was not a matter of money or finance, but it was a matter of self-confidence that the sharecroppers, they had won against the injustice and atrocities of Britishers. Now after winning this battle, he also made arrangements for the education, health and hygiene for the families of poor peasants. Now when he saw that these peasants, these people of Champaran, they were very poor, and a problem of health and hygiene was also there in Bihar, so he also made arrangements for their education, health and hygiene. He thought that it was only a small visit. When he had come with Rajkumar Shukla here in Bihar, in Champaran, he had thought that it would be a small visit, but he had stayed here for 1 long year. Now here, when Andrews, he was a Britisher, and he volunteered to stay with Gandhiji. Volunteer means he was willing. He himself said that he would stay with Gandhiji, but Gandhiji refused, as he wanted Indians to learn the lesson of self-reliance. He didn't want that Indians would depend on a Britisher to fight against the Britisher itself. So they wanted Indians to learn the lesson of self-reliance, to be independent, to be self-dependent only, so that they wouldn't depend on others while living in their own country. So the conclusion is, the story highlights the unequal economic system that existed during colonial British rule and which led to the peasants' suffering. It also highlights the importance of health and hygiene, and above all, this chapter, this story made people learn to be self-reliant to win any battle. I hope you understand now this summary of this chapter. Thank you.